Hello guys, isang mapagpalang araw para sa inyong lahat. So yun, ang mga kagrupo ko sa Nabesi ay magre-report about dun. So yun, let's gonna start and I hope you listen well. Asia, North America, and South America. Cultural perspective. Vista quick. Cultural perspective. Focus the symbolic realm of social life linked to arts and literature, culture, ideologies, value system derived from anthropology, women's studies, consumer behavior, ethic studies, and sociology, semiotics. Asia. So this is the Asia. Asia is the biggest continent on the earth. Ano nga eh. 1/4 ng mundo ay ang Asia. Okay. There are 6 divisions of Asia. Those are Southern Asia, which is andun tayo. Pilipinas is there. Eastern Asia, Middle East, ang mga Saudi Arabia, Central Asia, Northern Asia, Southern Asia. There are several major religions originated from Asia. Those include Buddhism, yung mga basta sila. Hinduism, Hindi, Islam or Muslim, Judaism, and siyempre tayo, Christianity or mga Christian. There is no need to wonder that Asia is filled with diverse language, cultures, and races. Quick view about Asian culture. The Asian culture encompasses the collective and diverse costume of tradition of architecture, music, literature, lifestyle, philosophy, politics, and religions that have been practiced and maintained by numerous ethnic tribes of the continent of Asia. Asia is home of the several of the world's oldest civilizations that produced the majority, if great religious system. That produced the oldest non-recorded myths, and cod- uh, codices on ethnic and morality. So,
Good day everyone. I am Basada Bessie D from Bas ED 1E. Now we are going to tackle about the Asian art literature. Asian art literature, it focuses on the spiritual side of life and the natural things in the world, which is opposite to the Western culture. I have here the four characteristics of Asian culture. The first characteristic that can be examined is the delicate imagery such as silk painting, which were painted in the scrolls with the watercolors. Traditionally, this type of painting often have a story behind them since their emergence in India approximately 2000 years ago. Silk painting is strongly associated with China. Silk painting is a unique medium for artists to express their mystic and charm into their works. This unique painting style emphasizes softness, grace, and elegance, as well as flexibility of style. Much of the art's beauty and the success comes down to the quality of silk being used. Silk painting is the application of paint or dyes directly onto silk fabric using a exciting array of watercolors technique. The colors are quite often bright, vibrant, and translucent and literally combined onto the fabric which will remain silky soft to the touch. This type of painting are particularly admired for their strong use of color that look strong but also complement each other well. Flower and the birds are often the most common subject of this type of paintings. Another characteristic is the spiritual art, which finds its roots in early Indian. During a time when religious imagery, particularly sculpture of god and goddesses, was dominant art. Spiritualism art or spirit art, or it can be also a mediumistic art, or it can be also a physic painting. It is a form of art mainly painting influenced by spiritualism. Spiritualism influenced art, having a influence on artistic consciousness, with this spiritual art having a huge impact on what became modernism and therefore art today. As Buddhism became established 2000 years ago, art in India became even more focused on the religion, particularly because of the beauty and mystery that surround their gods. For example, a famous figure in the god Shiva, who takes the form of dancer with at least four arms in the some sculptures. This particular art, it links man and spirit. It heals and makes whole by making connection. The creative artist who first sets down the vision. The performing artist who take up the vision and they brings it to life. And the member of the audience when they become active participant, all are links in the chain of artistic creation. The third characteristic of is the woodblock paints, which are particularly common amongst Chinese and Japanese woodblock art, done by the Japanese people, usually depicted landscape or woodland scenery, was at its peak during the 17th and 18th centuries. Chinese and Japanese woodblock art are extremely popular in Western civilization, which may print ending up in a Western home after their introduction during the mid-19th century. Woodblock painting works by the carving words or pictures on the large block of wood. Once carved ink is then spread across the block, and then sheet of paper are pressed against it. Wood block printing was used mostly to print religious books. The most famous book printed during the Tang Dynasty was the Diamond Sutra. One of the most distinguished features of the woodblock painting is the fact that the image on the paper is mirrored to the relief, which the artist had to remember while carving the relief, especially if he or she wanted to include text to the work. One of the advantages of the block printing is that it can be done as a surface of almost any size and texture. I print on fabric paper, canvas, wood, and other materials, and you don't have to worry about fitting it through a printer or a press. The final characteristic is the batik, which consists of dyeing fabric through hot wax in particularly ways so that they produce patterns. Batik is an Indonesian technique of wax-resist dyeing applied to the whole cloth. This technique originated from the island of Java, Indonesia. Batik is made either by drawing dots and lines of the resist with the spatula tool called canting, or by printing the resist with the copper stamp called a cap. Batik method of dyeing is which pattern areas are covered with wax so they will not receive the color. The method is used mainly on cottons in the traditional colored of blue, brown, and red. In producing or making batik, it can be used by hand drawing, using metal blocks, digital printing, screen printing, and screen printing. Traditionally, batik is done using batik wax as a blend of paraffin wax and beeswax. Today, we have very user-friendly way of doing batik using soy wax as a alternative to traditional batik wax. In this process is often repeated numerous times depending on how complex and intricate a person wants the design to be. Batik is now used to decorate homes as well as being used to create unique clothing designs. Asian values was a political ideology of the 1990s which defined elements of society, culture, and history. Common to the nation of the Southeast and East Asia, one of the biggest contributions of Asia in terms of ideology is the principle of collectivism, which aims to unify people for their economic and social good and to create a pan-Asian identity. Asian values set of values promoted since the late 20th century by some Asian political leaders and intellectuals as a conscious alternative to Western political values such as human rights, democracy, and capitalism. Advocates of Asian values typically claim that the rapid development of many East Asian economies in the past World War II period was due to the shared culture of their societies, especially those of Confucian heritage. They also asserted that Western political values were unsuited to East Asian because they fostered excessive individualism and legalism, which threatened to undermine the social order and destroy economic dynamism. Among Asian values that were frequently cited were discipline, hard work, frugality, educational achievements, balancing individual and societal needs, and deference to authority. Critics of Asian values disputed their role in the economic growth, and they argued that they were being used to protect the interests of East Asian authoritarian elites.
So, good afternoon guys. I'm Biljik Gibasada and I'm reporting the North America. So, North America. North America. The culture of North America refers to the art and others manifestation of human activities and achievements from the continent of North America itself. Cultures of North America is not only that of the continent's indigenous people but those cultures that followed European colonization as well. So ang North America is consist of Canada, USA, partly ng USA partly of USA and Mexico. So quick view about North American culture. In North America between the 16th and 19th centuries, the Northwest Coast culture area which characterized by traits such as given na malapit sila sa sea, sa mga river banks, something like that, such as trades such as salmon fishing, woodworking, large villages or towns, and hierarchical social organization. North American art and their literature, also known as American Indian art. So, kung familiar kayo, kaya sila tinatawag na kung familiar sa mga movies na about sa mga taong American Indian, yung mga something related sila, para silang mga Aztec, ganon. North American Native art. Characteristics. Objects that material culture of the eastern woodlands group such as the Cherokee and Iroquois. See Eastern Woodlands culture. For example, included decorated pottery baskets. So mahilig sila sa mga ganon. Quill work and beadworks. Birch bark utensils. Plated sashes. And carved wood ritual. So, napaka-creative nila when it comes to their art. And sa kanila din nakakuan yung mga super colorful na costumes, which is kinda parang national costume nila. So, North American art and literature ulit. Native American literature have 5 characteristics, which is hero initiation, pagsubok sa mga hero, trickster, symbolic landmarks, which is most likely places, oral tradition, mga incantations, and mythology. Siyempre, mythology, god and goddesses. So, these are the samples of Indian art. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Mostly, pinapakita sila sa mga movie about Wild Wild West, something like that. North American ideology. Political ideologies in United States includes various ideologies and ideological demographics in the United States. Citizens in the United States generally classify themselves as adherent to the position along left-right political spectrum as either liberal, progressive, moderate, or conservative. Modern American liberalism aims at the preservation of extension of human, social, and civil rights as well as government guarantee provisions of positive rights. So, napaka-focusing nila sa rights. It combines social progressivism and some extent of ordoliberalism and is highly similar to the European social liberalism. So, may onting twist sila ng European culture. American conservatism commonly refers to a combination of economic liberalism and social conservatism. It aims at protecting the concepts of small government and individual liberty while promoting traditional values on some social issues. And yun lamang po yung akin. Maraming salamat po. Again, this is Billy Jake G. Basada reporting North American culture.
Hi, good day. My name is Eliza May M. Gura and I am going to report the South America. Okay, so guys, South America is the 4th largest continent in the world. Okay, so sa South America, matatagpuan ang mga bansang Brazil, Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, Colombia, at syempre marami pang iba. Okay, so now let us talk about the culture of South America. Okay, the culture of South America draws on diverse cultural traditions from the continent of South America. Ibig sabihin yung kultura nila dito is iba-iba. Okay, this include the native cultures of the people that inhabited that continents prior to the arrival of the Europeans. So, bago pa dumating yung mga Europeans, okay, or bago pa dumating ang European culture sa South America, marami ng native culture, okay, na lumaganap sa mga taong naninirahan dito. Okay, so European cultures brought mainly by the Spanish, Portuguese, and French. Okay, so European culture, guys, is rooted in the architecture, film, and different kinds of music. Okay, so second culture here is the African culture, whose presence derives from a long history of New World slavery and the United States, particularly via mass culture such as cinema and television. Okay, so pag sinabi natin slavery, pang-aalipin. Kasi diba kapag African, mga maiitim na tao, kaya lagi silang dinidiscriminate ng mga white people. At hindi lang ng mga white people, hindi pati na rin ng mga ibang tao sa iba't ibang bansa. Kaya, tinawag nilang New World Slavery. Okay? So, now, look at the pictures here. Okay? Isa ito sa mga napakagandang litrato, okay, na mula sa South America. Okay, so napakagaling talaga nila sa musika at hindi lamang sa musika kundi na rin sa sining. Okay. So now let us talk about their culture. South American culture. Religion is an important part of the culture in South America. So 90% sa mga tao rito ay Christian, okay, or Kristiyano. And 82% of them are considered Roman Catholic. Okay, so mas marami pa rin ang Kristiyano sa lugar na to. And as much as any other people, Southerners have very developed culture consisting of food. Okay, so look at this picture. Isa lang to sa napaka-best na food nila. Okay, so marami silang best food, okay, like Colombian chicken, arepas or cornmeal, flat cakes, and spicy foods, especially sa Mexico. Diba kapag sinabing Mexico, it is well known as spicy food. Okay, for its spicy food. Okay, kasi yung mga taong naninirahan dito sa Mexico, napaka-hilig talaga nilang kumain ng mga manghang. Kaya na-adapt na rin natin na basta naririnig natin yung bansang Mexico or kapag sinabi nilang Mexican food, ibig sabihin spicy or may spices. Okay, so look at these pictures here. Okay, so napakagaling rin nila sa music. Due to its highly syncretic nature, music encompasses a wide variety of styles including genres such as the bossa nova and bachata. Okay, so now look at these pictures now. Okay, these are just few pictures from Colombia. Okay, napaka-best talaga sa kanila yung street art. Okay, so kapag punta ka sa South America, marami kang makikitang street art sa daan, sa bahay, ganun. So napakagaling talaga nila sa sining. Okay, so that is my report for today. Okay, I hope that you learn from me. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Good day everyone, my name is Julian C. Barrientos from BESID 1E. I am going to tackle for today is the South American art and literature. In South America, it is the traditional art of South America that is varied as it rich. So from arts, as ancient as pottery and textile weaving to colonial traditions of paintings and wood carvings. So it is important to express the history and culture of the people and the region of it. So the art-based educations are becoming increasingly popular with traditions and are very unique way to become familiar sa culture and traditions ng South America. So, alam naman natin na ang South America ang vast diverse continent or yung pinakamalawak na kontinente. But there are several consistent themes in art history. So the art subject matter and style have a roots or may pinagmulan sa indigenous culture and go back thousands of years na yon. While yung art forms ay nag-start as a utilitarian object such as ceramic vessels and clothing, mabilis na kumalat ito to represent the unique values and religions as the culture become more sophisticated. In 15th century, the Incas of Andes region, for example, become adept metal workers combining regions, observations, practical use, and as a distinct style of stage, style of art to create pieces that can be seen today. As South American was colonized by Europeans, the art forms merged to form styles that reflects the rich and complex cultures. So additional, Incas, ito po yung South American hummingbird that having mainly blackish bronze color with 1 or 2 bees patches. So another, Latin American literature consists of oral and written literature of Latin America in several languages, particularly sa Spanish, Portuguese, at sa indigenous language ng Amerika, as well as the literature of the United States. It written in the Spanish language, so it rose into a particular prominence which result globally during the second half ng 20th century. It largely due to the international success by the style known as the magical realism. So, while in South American ideology consists the so-called fascism, it is the authoritarian and nationalistic right-wing system of government and social organization. Ang fascism in South America is the assortment of political parties at movement na binubuo sa fascism. Although originate and primarily associate na siya sa Europe, the ideology crossed the Atlantic Ocean between the world wars at nagbigay ng impluwensya sa buong South American politics. Although yung ideas ng Falangism ay nagbigay ng malalim na impact sa South America that largely due to Hispanidad, it is more generic fascism and also important factor in regional politics. So I hope you've learned something from me and thank you for listening. Have a nice day.